Holly Phillips, Robert Scott Poston, Mary Esther Reed, who serves on that committee as well, H.G. Cole, who serves on that committee, Carlos Rawls, Thomas Williams, Jerry Bradley, and of course Mike Moss. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce our council and our mayor that are here today. Mayor Mary Esther Reed, Vice Mayor Mark Atkins, Councilperson Raquel Peebles, Councilperson Jerry Short, Councilperson H.G. Cole, Councilman Tim Morrell, and I don't think Steve had a work conflict, I'm not sure he's here, but Councilman Steve Sullivan, that again, with their support, we were able to make this vision come true for us today. Now today, what I'd like to do is introduce a very special guest, our Consulate General from Japan, who now lives in Nashville, Consulate General Fukushima, I said it right? Consulate General assumed her post as Consulate General of Japan in Nashville in December of 2019. This is her third diplomatic assignment in the U.S. She received a Master's of Law and Diplomacy from the Fletcher School of Tufts University in 1985, served at the Consulate General of Japan in New York from 1993 to 1996. The Consulate General has extensive experience working with the United Nations. She served as Program Officer for the United Nations University and is the founding director of the UN Women Japan Liaison Office based out of Tokyo. And the list goes on. She also has two adult daughters. I think they live in Japan. But either way, Consulate General, would you come and share some words with us, please?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to be here in Zama today for the Zama Park opening ceremony. As introduced, I was posted to Nashville early this year. However, due to the spread of the COVID-19, I have not been able to attend many events like this in person. So today, I feel it is especially nice to see you all face to face. The history of Sumana and Zama City relationship is long-standing and precious. It began nearly 30 years ago based on business connections related to the two cities' Nissan facilities. However, the relationship has grown so much more. Student exchange programs between the two cities have been giving the young generation wonderful opportunities to experience the different cultures and the world since 1991. This great sister city relationship has been sustained thanks to the efforts of the governments and peoples of Sumana and Zama City. This relationship is also making a better business environment for both cities. Friendship between Sumana and Zama is also contributing to strengthening allies between Japan and the US. Last year, Mayor Reed and Sumana City Council members visited Zama, that's what I heard. And they saw a park there and had the idea to reproduce it here in Sumana. Thanks to the support of Mayor Reed, the City Council, and the people of Sumana, that idea has become a reality. I am very thankful to everyone who was involved in this project to make Zama Park in Sumana come true. I know that the mayor of Zama City wanted to attend today's event. Unfortunately, he was unable to come given the current circumstances caused by the pandemic. In fact, the pandemic has made all citizen exchanges difficult. However, one day this will end, and the people of Zama and Sumana will be able to see each other in person again. Until that time, I'm glad that this park can stand as a symbol of friendship. Thank you again. I wish you all good health. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll try to get going for the red light turns again because it gets really loud, doesn't it? Now on the program, I want to recognize the people that made this happen on the ground. From the design all the way down to completion, there was a lot of contractors, architects, engineers, that type of thing that make this happen. I would like to start out with Reagan Smith. I worked very closely with Kevin Gunther and Matt Hamilton to get a design together on this park, and they did a fantastic job. I've already had a lot of comments on the sign down there on the corner of Washington and Lowry. Kevin and Matt designed that. Front Street Signs, Jeremy Bird and his team made it a reality, putting that together. So I want to say thank you to Reagan Smith for design, and Greenway of Nashville. And you know, around here we know greenways as trails. And then when we bid this project was bid on November 22nd, 2019. So as you know, when you start a project in the wintertime in Smyrna, Tennessee, it's going to stay wet from November all the way to May, and maybe even to June. But they were out here on some really bad days and led this project and kept the project clean, kept the roads clean, and that was very important to the town, the citizens, and also all of us. So I want to say a great job to Greenway of Nashville. Alex Debman was out here daily with his team, and Eric Cook was out here checking on him. And Eric owns the company and does a great job. I really appreciate that they were able to take a vision on paper and on a design board and make it look exactly like what was on paper. That is very unusual in our world, so I really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank their subs. Their subcontractors were Peak Electric, Isidro Brothers Concrete, and Nashville Irrigation. You know, you might think a small park is an easy park to build. Well, it's not, because everybody's on top of each other. And when you're having to line that up and coordinate that, it's very tough. And there's a railroad, a state highway, utilities, you got it all here. So I want to say thanks to them. Dempsey Dillon and Associates, they did the survey for us back when we first started the project, and passed that off to Reagan Smith, and they were here for a lot of the questions I had early on before we had an architect firm on board. So I want to thank them with helping us there, help them get to where we are today. Also, Front Street Signs, they're right over here across the street, and it makes it good for us when we're working downtown. Not only are they good at what they do, but they're invested in this town, in the schools. And Jeremy, I just want to say personally thank you. He's been out here on some nights working on that sign and other signs, and I appreciate what you do. All the town departments, just about every project we work on involves people from the top down, from the mayor down, and that's what you see here today. You've got the support from the town council, town manager, a town attorney, I don't want to leave him out, all the way down to our department and our staff and the very people that we serve, which is the citizens. So I want to say thanks for just the total support there. I'm probably leaving out a contractor or two, but I do want to tell you, we have some recognition plaques up here, or awards. If you'll just come up afterwards, we'll give those to you. We tried to make those to kind of mimic this building, and I think we pulled that off actually, and turned out pretty well. So you can take those with you, and we just want to give you a little thanks. And I also want to thank the people, they're not here today, but the people that did the demo work down here, they did a fantastic job as well. A company called Modern Day Wrecking. So I just want to let you know that there's a lot of people involved, and that construction team was an all-star team on this one, and I really appreciate that. Now I want to introduce to you our mayor of the town of Smyrna, Mary Esther Reed. Mayor Reed owns the Learning Circle in Murfreesboro, and her heart is here in Smyrna. She is a native Smyrna citizen and grown up here, and probably has some stories about all this property around here, and it's close to her heart. And I'm try to work through that. is close to her heart, and really the whole town is, but I know this has a special meaning. If you drive around our town, this is a town on the move, and with her leadership, it's going to continue to be that way. And I think what a lot of people appreciate, we might be on the move and in progress, but there's things getting completed, and it's because of leadership like hers that makes that happen. She serves on many boards and has served on many boards, and also on our Parks Advisory Board, so she gets to see some of these things early on and then give us her input and give us her vision as well. I just want to say thank you for what you do for us, and introduce to you Mayor Reed.
Thank you, Mike. First, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. You know, today marks another milestone in the history of our town, the opening of our newest park. We've had many milestones in our history here in Smyrna. The Depot District that is just across the street represents the time in our history when our community was just getting started. Our Smyrna Railroad Depot was actually erected in 1851 and it was rebuilt in 1873. It was a direct result of the charter that was granted by the state of Tennessee in 1845 to the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad to connect our area to Charleston and New Orleans seaports. Then another big milestone came when the establishment of the Army Air Base in 1941 that was later renamed Seward Air Force Base. The base actually closed for good in 1970. Many people thought at that time Smyrna would become non-existent. But there were a group of business leaders that did not believe this and went out trying to work on bringing more business and more industry to the town of Smyrna. This dream became a reality, and another milestone in our history of the town was reached with the opening of the Nissan Group of North America's first manufacturing facility here in Smyrna in 1983. In 1991, the town of Smyrna entered into a sister city agreement with Zama City, Japan. The Smyrna Sister City program is part of a national not-for-profit movement initiated by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. The goal of this program was to further international understanding and goodwill between the people of the United States and the rest of the world. This is done through educational, social, cultural, and business exchanges. The first visit from our friends in Zama City here to Smyrna was the adult, municipal, and community leaders. My family actually got to host two of these business leaders that year. I was a senior in high school, and Mikio Endo was one of the business leaders who made the first trip and stayed at my parents' house. Fast forward about 30 plus years, and Mikio Endo is now the mayor of Zama City, and we have remained close friends for many years. After those first initial visits with the adult municipal and community leaders, both cities decided that a student exchange program would serve the youth of Smyrna and Zama City well and provide an excellent opportunity for cultural exchange between the students of both of our communities. The way the program works today is that there are 20 Smyrna middle or high school students as well as 5 chaperones that are selected to travel to Zama for 2 weeks based upon application and an interview process. Each student lives with a Zama student in that student's home. Group activities are planned for the majority of the trip, including attending school with the host student for 2 days. The host student plans other activities that help to give the Smyrna student a true representation of Japanese life. The next year, the Zama City students travel here to Smyrna and live with Smyrna students for 2 weeks, doing many of the activities that represent life here in America. The third year, I'll tell you, has to be a rest year because everybody is so tired after the 2 years of travel. And then we begin the process all over again. I want to tell you, there is no way we could be able to do our Sister City program without the countless hours that our Sister City Volunteer Board puts in year after year. If you serve on that board, would you please raise your hand to be recognized? Thank you for the hours and time that you put in to make this experience great for both groups of students. In 2019, some of the council made a trip to Japan to visit some of our Japanese businesses that are our partners with us here in Smyrna, as well as to visit our sister city in Zama. We were shown such hospitality from friends we had not seen in many years. One of the mornings that we were there, Brian went on one of his very early morning walks that not all of us joined him on, but he came back really excited at breakfast. He wanted to take us to see this pocket park that he had seen. So the area was much like we have in the one we sit in today. City was all around us, but it was a place to slow down, and it was a place to catch your breath, just for a minute. Brian proposed the idea of a similar park for our location here. I cannot imagine a better way to commemorate the relationship between Zama, the town of Smyrna, and the influence that the Japanese business and industry has had on our community. This ribbon cutting was supposed to happen the first week in August. The students from Zama were supposed to be here, and Mayor Endo was also going to be here to celebrate our city's friendship and the opening of this park. Like many things in our life over the last couple of months, this had to change. The students and Mayor Endo were not able to join us in person, but they're actually streaming our ceremony from Zama today. So we are so glad with the wonderful use of technology that they may not be able to be here in person, but they actually can be a part of the presentation. Mayor Endo did send a letter that he asked for me to read so that he could send his well wishes. Hello, my Smyrna friends. I'd like to offer my sincere congratulations on opening of the Zama Park. On this special day, I would like to express my gratitude to all the people in Smyrna, especially Mayor Reed, the Smyrna Town Council members, Park Board members, and the city officials for your dedication to the Zama Park project. I've been waiting for this day to come. I wish I could attend the opening ceremony to share this special moment with you today, but it is very unfortunate that I couldn't make a visit to Smyrna due to the current COVID-19 situation. Opening Zama Park is such a beautiful town of Smyrna is the proof of our deep-rooted friendship that has been forged for about 30 years since our sister city agreement in 1991. It is a great pleasure that this park will be a place for many people to relax, enjoy, and refresh, and moreover, I believe it will be the significant place for both communities from now on. I really hope to take Zama students to Zama Park next year. We believe that Zama Park will be the symbol of our partnership forever and look forward to continued success of Youth Exchange Program in the future. Mikio Endo, Mayor of Zama City. I wish my friend Mayor Endo and the Zama City students were able to attend, but I look forward to sharing this park with them on their next visit. The Sister City program between Smyrna and Zama opens doors to establishing meaningful and lasting global friendships, partnerships, and connections. People-to-people relationships not only enhance our lives, but represent our best hope for peace in the future. I hope this park represents the bond that we have with our sister city and strengthens the bridges of mutual understanding and respect that we have with Zama City, Japan. I want to thank each one of you for being here today to celebrate another milestone in the history of the town of Smyrna. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor Reed. Well said, and like I said, this town is in her heart and has a lot of history here, which we all appreciate. And really, the Zama City history makes this even stronger. We've come to the end of the program. Just a couple of things I want to say again was please make a walk down and take a tour of the plazas. The theme of the plazas was agriculture, hospitality, and industry. And I think you can hear from Mayor Reed's speech and some of the other things we've talked about that's the things we have in common with Zama City. The banners you see here is an interesting story. The people we get to make those we were trying to figure out how to include the language there and make sure it was correct. Well, the company that makes those, the guy that I deal with, his brother-in-law is actually in Japan as a translator for contracts. So that's where that came from. We didn't do that on our own. We had help. I just want to say again to the mayor and town council, Brian, the town manager and parks board, everybody that's involved, Sister City folks are here, and all the contractors. I appreciate what you've done to create something for the very people we work for, and that's the citizens. So I too think they'll be proud, and it's good to hear Mayor Endo say that. We've got, again, some refreshments back behind me. We're going to take some photos. So if we get close, I just ask for you to keep your mask on, or we're going to social distance. But we're going to cut a ribbon on this park and let everybody take a tour. So if we're, unless y'all got anything else, I think we're good to go. All right. I'm sorry. We're going to cut it right here. So we're going to cut right here, and Kathy is going to take the line us up, and then we'll take some photos. So I would like for some of the Parks Board and Town Council to be involved, and whoever can, Sister City program, and we'll take a couple here. So we'll be right here, and we've got the ribbon and the scissors here. So that'll we'll close out the ceremony like that, and then again we've got the awards for the people that will be getting those. And thank you again.